Hey, I'm Doug Murray, principal of Chardon High School. I'm a graduate of Chardon High School. I live in Chardon. My kids go here, and I'm proud to be your principal. And in a few moments, Mr. Kovac is going to explain to you the eighth grade course of study. Before we do that, I want to get you a little bit connected to what it's like to be here at Chardon High School. Several years ago when we reconfigured, we had our eighth graders coming up here, and I wanted to make sure that what we did mattered. It was done intentionally. So when we got our eighth graders up here, we wanted to make sure not only did you have access to great classes, but you had access to high school classes and that you felt connected to the Hilltopper community. So in a few moments, you're going to learn about the classes, but right now I want to talk to you about the why. So the first why is our core values. Here in our high school, for the last decade, we've really focused on our core values, which is community, humility, achievement, respect, dignity, optimism, and nurture. You might say, well, what do all those words mean? Well, together they say Chardon. And every one of you will get this bracelet that will explain a little bit more about what they stand for. You'll wear that with pride, but you'll wear it because of the why. Why do I live here? Why does my community really care for me? They support me. They're always there for me. What does it mean to be a person that's humble, that shows humility? It's winning a state championship and after the fact showing up the next day to work out, showing humility. What's achievement look like? Not only in the classroom, but also in the field and on the court, online, offline, to your mom and dad, to your guardians. What's respect look like? How do we show respect? How do we earn respect? But ultimately, how do we live in a community that is all about respect? Dignity, treating every person like you want them to treat you. Showing optimism, you can do this, we're going to do this together. And being a person that focuses on nurture. Nurturing is like when you have a little plant and you water it and you watch it grow and you then see it develop. But if you don't nurture it, it starts to wilt. And that's where it all comes together, where people in the community and all your teachers and all your staff members and all your friends help you understand what it means truly to be a Hilltopper. That's our first why. When it comes to eighth graders being in the building, we want to make sure that you understand that high school is what you make of it. Some of these things you'll be placed in, and later on, you'll hear about the circuit of success, which is an opportunity for you to get transcripted graduation seals, all the while having some fun learning what it means to be a leader and communicate, innovate, problem solve, and being an entrepreneur or learning about global experiences. These are other whys of why you are coming up here to experience your high school. But it really connects to the fact that you, regardless if you're 5 foot or you're 6'7", you're part of our Hilltoppers. We have great teachers, great staff that are always there for you. We might have old buildings, but you cannot change the goodness inside of the buildings. So in a few moments, Mr. Kovac is going to share with you what it's all about, and then I'll be back there at the end to kind of close things out.
Hello, my name is Kyle Kovac, and I'm one of the school counselors at Chardon High School. I am actually currently the counselor for grades 8 through 12, letters P through Z. I was formerly the 8th grade counselor for 2 years before this school year. I am happy to be doing this video with you about the 7th grade scheduling meeting. I know many parents and many students are very nervous at times about coming up to the high school as an 8th grader. The worries you keep thinking about my daughter or son who's 14 years old. They're going to be going to school with 18-year-olds and men will have beards, and it just sounds scary. I'm here to tell you in this video and giving you this information to hopefully put your mind at ease and look forward to coming to the high school instead of having fear of coming to the high school. And that's for this first slide. I put keep calm and welcome to the high school. We love having the 8th graders at the high school at Chardon because we get to grow them into the future people they'll be starting in 8th grade rather than 9th grade. So we'll have 5 years for them. And as we go through this slide, you'll realize that the fears will be real. And hopefully once school starts, those fears will subside. but the opportunities eighth graders get for coming to the high school a year early compared to other high schools outweigh any fears. Um, so we'll go through this slide. We're going to cover classes you'll take, our schedule, and hopefully we answer any and all questions that you would have regarding the transition from the middle school as a seventh grader to the high school next year as an eighth grader. So the first slide, if you look, it says eighth grade, welcome to the team. Like I already said before, we are happy to have you, and we welcome you with open arms. We're so happy that you're a part of the school, and we're excited for you to start your high school experience and have 5 years at Chardon High School. Social experiences. When you come to the high school, there'll be a lot of different opportunities for you to be involved. But the main information you need to know is we'll have specific lunch periods where all eighth graders will eat together. I know that was a big worry we had for many parents and students, and I understand that worry. Having 13 or 14-year-olds sitting with 18-year-olds at lunch. You won't have to worry about that. There's specific lunch periods primarily just for eighth graders, and we'll go over the schedule, but all eighth graders will eat during 5A lunch period. Dismissals and study tables. I know a lot of eighth graders, actually all eighth graders, will be playing sports, and it's a weird scenario because they're still tied to middle school athletics. Most middle schools end later than high school athletics. So we ran into an issue of where do we put the football team, the girls basketball team, or any middle school team while they're waiting for practices, while they're waiting to play games. So we actually have dismissal and study tables for athletes and extracurricular activities. So once our school day ends, we will have a place for students to kind of do some homework. There'll be a staff member there, kind of like a study hall after school before their extracurricular activity or sport begins, whether that's practice or a game. This year's a little different because of COVID, but years past, hopefully we get to a normal time here in the future. And next year when we start and you're an eighth grader, after school, and if you play a sport, you'll be able to go to those study tables. Clubs. There's a lot of clubs that students who are going to be in eighth grade at the high school can get involved in. There's some eighth grade specific clubs, but also this is one of those unique opportunities where eighth graders get to also join in on regular high school clubs. Some of the clubs I've marked down here are yearbook, eighth grade drama club, ski club, AHLI, student club, and there's many more. Every year new clubs get brought up, and we try to make sure that we invite eighth graders into these clubs, whether they're with older students, upperclassmen, because we want to have their voice heard in the student culture at the high school. Graduation requirements. As I said, there's many opportunities for eighth graders when they come to the high school that most eighth grade students or middle school students in the surrounding areas do not get. The first one, as we go through class opportunities next year, eighth grade students are going to have more opportunities than I believe anybody to start high school classes in eighth grade, which is a fantastic opportunity. So I always like to cover the graduation requirements so students know when they enter the high school and they start taking those high school classes, whether they're honors classes or elective classes, where they'll stand after their eighth grade year. So graduation requirements. At Chardon High School, we require students to have 20 credits to graduate. They need 4 credits of English, 4 credits of mathematics, 3 credits of science. They need 3 credits of history, and those are broken down into U.S. history, world history, and U.S. government. The state of Ohio and Chardon, we require every student to take health at some point in their high school career, and the majority of eighth graders actually do take health in their eighth grade year. Physical education, you have to get a half credit or you can get a PE waiver. And remember, a half credit is actually 2 separate classes because PE classes only count as 2 a quarter credit. So you need 2 classes to get the half credit, or you can get a PE waiver. And electives. After you get all of your requirements, the English, math, science, history, health, and phys ed, you either need to get 5 credits of electives or 5.5 credits if you get a PE waiver. So you get all your core subjects, and then you have the opportunity to take electives based on your interest or maybe future career opportunities, and you'll get to start all these graduation requirements at some point next year if you choose to. Next, how our schedule is going to be broken down. In the coming days, you are going to receive a course registration sheet. You're actually going to fill it out on paper. It's green, and you're going to have to sign up for your classes. Next year, you're going to be in an English, math, science, and social studies regardless. Next year, eighth grader students will either take English 8 or English 1 honors. So the English 1 honors, if you see the star right here, that means it's a high school course. So if you're in English 1 honors, you're going to get high school credit. You have to take a mathematics. Eighth grade students will either take Math 8, which is our pre-algebra. That is not for high school credit. Or if you're going to take Algebra 1 honors, you will get high school credit for that. That counts as your Algebra 1 credit for high school. And some students, if they're already in Algebra 1, which we do have a handful, they'll take Geometry honors next year. So they'll actually be on their second high school credit. Science, students will take Science 8. That is not for high school credit, but if you are going to take physical science honors, that will be in high school credit. Social studies, all of our students when they come to the high school as eighth graders, they'll all take social studies 8. And then electives. Students will have a choice between 2 electives. There's a wide range of electives they could choose from, and we'll go over those in the coming slides. But there's opportunities that you could take high school courses or eighth grade specific courses. And we always like students to take courses that kind of resemble their interests or maybe future career opportunities. And then we always ask students to take a study hall, but you don't have to take a study hall. You could also take an additional course. So at Chardon High School, we have 7 periods in our school day. So if you look at this, English will be 1 period, mathematics will be 1 period, science will be 1 period, and social studies. So that's 4 periods out of the 7-period day. And then we ask students to pick 2 electives per semester at the high school, and those are student choice. So we have 4 for the cores and then 5, 6 for electives. We always recommend students to have 1 study hall just so they can get some homework done, just to have some downtime. But like I said already, students do not have to have a study hall if they choose not to. They could actually pick up an additional elective course. So we usually recommend out of the 7-period day that students take 6 classes with 1 study hall, but they could also take an additional course. Also in their schedule, you will see the Circuit of Success. We're going to go over the schedule here shortly, and the Circuit of Success is actually built in on our extended 5th period where students will eat lunch, they'll have a class, and then they'll have Circuit of Success, which is a period that kind of builds 8th graders thinking for the future and different things they could learn and how to easily transition to Chardon High School and be successful. So now let's go over some elective opportunities. This slide right here is the 8th grade elective options. So these courses can be taken as an elective, but they do not receive high school credit. And there are a lot of different courses from an assortment of different subject areas. So if you look for 8th grade electives, you'll have visual arts, financial literacy, podcasts, computer science discovery, which is kind of a coding class where if you're interested in computers, you kind of learn the techniques so you could work on them and kind of code within your computer. We have pottery, sculpture, and then we have an 8th grade band, and we have an 8th grade choir, and those are both full year courses. So it's kind of a prep. If you're planning to be in the band or the choir in high school, this is a great opportunity for 8th graders to meet the teacher, which they probably already know, but kind of understand the high school experience before they start. Next slide. These are the electives 8th graders have the opportunity to take that actually are worth high school credit. So those graduation requirements, you could actually start earning credit as you're in 8th grade. So when you finish 8th grade, you could be at a 9th grade level that other schools will be at, or you could start your high school career. So when you get to junior or senior year, you have more opportunities if you want to think about CCP classes, going to Lakeland, taking AP courses, or just taking courses that truly interest you. And I'm very happy to say that since I was the 8th grade counselor, this list of electives has grown mightily. The first year we didn't have many. We're trying to test the waters, but now you have the opportunity to take so many elective courses and also earn high school credit for those. And some of those electives you could take are Spanish 1, French 1, Passport to World Cultures, yearbook, multimedia design, where you'll actually make the morning announcements. You have the opportunity to take health, which the Ohio says you have to take in order to graduate, so you can get that out of the way now. And most 8th graders do take that at the high school. Physical education, this is the first time this year that you will be able to take a PE course for high school credit. Previous years, 8th graders did not have this opportunity. So if you want to take PE and get it out of the way early before you get into your freshman, sophomore, junior year, you have that opportunity. You could take creative writing workshop, so you could meet our English teachers and use your creative writing tools and build your writing skills. So once you get to the high school and you're writing essays or research papers, you are even better suited to be successful. We have robotics. That's a high school course where you actually work on how robotics work. You build outlines of robots, and hopefully we'll have a high school team in the near future. We have intro to sports training, which is a part of our PE department, but doesn't count for PE credit. And this course is it's a course that's for specific athletes. So if you're a baseball player, football player, this class basically teaches you how to train for your specific sport. So every student will come in, they'll be with Mr. Long, they'll build a workout regimen or a training regimen for their specific sport. So I'm a former baseball coach. So if I was in this class, I would build maybe footwork skills, arm strength building program, a hitting program. And once you get to the course, you actually submit your training plan to Mr. Long, and you get graded based on the work that you show and the progress you make from your training opportunity. We have writing for publications. This is the first time this is offered to eighth grade students, and this is actually the newspaper for Chardon. We feel that this is a great opportunity for eighth graders to show that they're in the high school culture and actually have their voices heard. So this is a full credit course, a full year course, so they can be a part of the newspaper and they get to write stories from an eighth grader point of view. So teachers, parents, and students understand what the eighth grader is going through. Passport to Language and Passport to Culture, that's on there twice. I apologize. These courses are kind of your pre-Spanish and French courses. So you kind of get to learn some of the language and some of how the classes will be built so you're more successful in either Spanish or French if you choose to take them. We have our CBI Foundations, our CBI Work-Based Learning. Those are both one credit courses. If you choose those courses, which is fine, this stands for career-based intervention. So this is going to teach you basically soft skills so you will be successful if you choose to go to Auburn or if you're choosing or thinking of getting a job after high school. So this is a program that you will most likely be in for the remainder of your high school career. If you take it your eighth grade year and you do not like it, you're not locked into the program, but you could continue on it and build those foundations, and you're going to go out to area companies. You're going to learn how they do their business. You're going to learn skills you need to be successful in area businesses and basically build your resume to go to Auburn or go get a job after high school. Also, every student, 7th or 12th grade, has the opportunity to take CCP courses. Those are College Credit Plus courses, and those are actually through Lakeland Community College. The two we offer for 8th graders are Intro to Business and Business Ethics. So if you're going to take this course, this is a college course. 8th graders are allowed to take it. You'll have to register and take a placement exam at Lakeland to actually be eligible to take the course. So if you choose to take this course, there's different things you have to do through Lakeland to make sure you're eligible to take the course and to get high school credit. But also, if you complete these courses, you will also receive college credit. So as you can see, the last two slides cover a lot of opportunities that 8th graders have. And this is what I meant from the beginning of our presentation, that coming as an 8th grader to the high school is scary for many reasons. And there are some aspirations and you're just always thinking of the bad, but the opportunities are endless when you come to the high school to start your high school career. And most students who actually come, they really enjoy these opportunities that the high school offer them. This is just a breakdown of our schedule. It's very different than other schedules. So if you look, we actually have 3 schedules. We have a white schedule, a red schedule, and a black schedule. Our white schedule, we run Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and it's your traditional schedule that most high schools run. You'll go to every one of your periods, 1st through 7th. You'll see every one of your teachers go to every one of your subject areas. The main reason I put this on here is for the 5th period. As you see, our 5th period is very extended. To make this simpler for you to understand when you're looking at it, what you have to look at as an 8th grade parent or an 8th grade student for this 5th period is the 5A, which is in blue right here, and the Circuit of Success, which is also in blue. So as I said, our 5th period is kind of a super period. We have 4 shorter periods built into it. We have 5A, 5B, 5C, and 5D. If you're an 8th grader coming next year, 5A is your lunch period. This is that 8th grade specific lunch. So right after 4th period, you will always go to 5A and you'll be with all your friends and fellow 8th graders eating lunch. Once the bell rings for 5A, you're going to go to your 5th period class. That starts right here with 5B. And what this means is you could have any class. You could have an elective, you could have your English class, you could have your math class. We don't know what the master schedule will be yet, but any class could fit into here. You'll go there for 2 consecutive periods. You'll go for 5B and 5C. So you'll have a traditional class period. You won't be doing any moving around. Once 5D ends, that's where you're going to go to your circuit of success. The circuit of success is primarily for 8th graders taught by our best and brightest Chardon educators. And this is an enrichment period where we try to build on skills that we feel will make them successful high school students, but most importantly, successful adults in the future, and build these skills to look forward to a future career opportunity, college opportunity, or just to be better overall citizens in society. Once 5B ends and you finish your circuit, it's about 33 minutes long. You'll go to 6th period and 7th period. Wednesdays are red days, we call them, and Thursdays are black days. These are our modified block periods. So for Wednesdays, you'll actually only go to your even period classes. You'll go to 2nd period, 4th period, and 6th period. In black days, they're block days. You'll only go to your 1st period, 3rd period, 5th period, and 7th period. These are longer, extended classes, so classes could do projects, they could do labs, or they could do those longer extended assignments that maybe a traditional class period of 47 minutes make difficult. So for Wednesday is actually a late arrival day. So you'll start your day at 8:58 with your 2nd period class, and it's 95 minutes long. Once 2nd period ends, you're actually going to go straight to lunch. I know it says 4 here, and I said 5A is usually lunch, but since we don't have a 5th period Wednesdays, 8th graders will always eat during 4th period during that A period. After 4A, you'll go to your 4th period class, and we do not have circuit of success on Wednesdays. Though circuit of success is only for those white traditional schedule days. After you finish your 4th period class, you'll go to your 6th period class for 95 minutes till the end of the day when the bell rings. Black days, our other modified block days, like I said, you only go to your odd period classes. So this is a traditional day. You will start at 7:20 as you would on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, or our white days. You'll go to your 1st period for 95 minutes, just like you would on the Wednesday block day. You'll go to your 3rd period class for 95 minutes. Then after your 3rd period class, you'll go to 5A, which is 8th grade specific lunch. And then you'll go to your 5th period class. On any block day, you will not have circuit of success. Circuit of success is only for our white days or traditional schedule. So after your 5th period class on these modified block days for the black day, then you'll go to 7th period through the end of the day when the bell rings. I know this is confusing, and it's the first time that I looked at it, I was confused, but the teachers are here, the administration, the counselors are here to help you. If you have any questions before the school year begins, feel free to reach out to the high school, and we'll help explain this, and we'll have other opportunities to explain it to 8th graders before the school year starts. But I just wanted to see how the schedule would look. The next slide is about our circuit of success. As I said, these are enrichment periods, and there's actually several different classes. You will have a different circuit of success class every semester. Actually, every quarter. I apologize about that. So you'll have one circuit of success class 1st quarter, a different circuit of success class 2nd quarter, another circuit of success class 3rd quarter, and your final circuit of success 4th quarter. So you have 4 different circuit of success classes. One circuit of success class we require all students at Chardon to take as an 8th grader is the Principles of Leadership class. This class basically highlights what we feel every Chardon student needs to be successful in their high school career. They go over the core values of community, humility, achievement, respect, dignity, optimism, and nurture. And we just try to build those foundations and those feelings and those attributes that we feel will make them the best Chardon student moving into 9th grade and the future. After the Principles of Leadership, because every student has to take that class, we have these are the classes you get to choose from. We have Principles of Innovation, Principles, I can't see that because my picture is there. Principles of entrepreneurship and networking, which is more taught by our business teacher. And think of Shark Tank and trying to create opportunities and how to market yourself and basically learning those basics of business. Principles of global awareness. This is taught by our foreign language department, and basically you learn about different cultures, what's going on in the world, so you're more informed citizen of America and also a member of the world. Principles of communication. This builds on communication skills with students, whether you're talking to a teacher, future employer, parent, counselor, principal, friend. Just building those communication skills that we all know that some students at a young age struggle with, maybe because they're intimidated or they just don't have those skills. So they build on those soft skills. So once they get in the ninth grade and they're doing papers, sending emails, those communication skills will be stronger. And then principles of problem solving, just having them be a problem solver and understanding ways to look at a problem. There's always different ways to solve certain problems, and have them think outside the box and challenge their thinking on different ways to figure out solutions to different issues. So as I said, principles of leadership, the one that's in red, every eighth grader at Chardon will have to take, and then you'll have the opportunity to pick between principles of innovation, principles of entrepreneurship and networking, principles of global awareness, principles of communication, and principles of problem solving. So you'll actually choose 3 of the remaining after the principles of leadership. This is just a breakdown of what the circuit of success is. You could pause this video, and if you want to read up more on these and try to have an idea of which ones you would like to take next year, they're all are great opportunities, and they all build great skills that I assure you will make an eighth grader or your son or daughter better high school students overall. And none of them are bad selections, but we always try to say, and I always try to say, is try to pick ones either that you're interested in, and also pick ones that will build skills that maybe you struggle in. If you are shy, try to take the principles of communication class so you can build that skills and build that confidence. So when you have to give a presentation or have to send an email, it's easier for you in the future. Moving along. Important scheduling considerations. First, students are expected to enroll in a minimum of 6 classes. We try and highly suggest all Chardon students, whether you're in 8th grade or 12th grade, to take at least 6 classes per semester. Meaning every time you come to school, if it's a white day, that regular period, you're going to have 6 classes in your schedule with the study hall. We recommend that. You could always take more. You could take 7 classes. That's up to you. But we want you to at least have 6. So when you're filling out your scheduling form, before you turn them in to your middle school counselors, make sure you have 6, and we'll go over that process here shortly. For athletics and activities for eligibility, whether you're going to play a sport, you're going to be in the band, you're going to be in any extracurricular activity, there's certain requirements you have to have to be eligible. 8th grade, because the middle school requirements are a little different than the high school ones, this is what you need to know. First, all students need to have a full schedule. A full schedule will be those 6 classes per semester. All students need to be passing 4 classes. They don't specify what classes, you just have to not have an F and pass at least 4 classes. A minimum of a 2.0 GPA prior to the quarter of your activity. So if you're playing basketball and it starts in the second quarter, you need to pass 4 classes, have a full schedule, and have a 2.0 overall the quarter before the second quarter. So that means the first quarter. So the first quarter, you have to have 4 classes, passing a full schedule, and have at least a 2.0. And this is a Chardon rule, no prior Fs to the quarter. So if you get an F in any class, you will not be eligible for your extracurricular activity or athletic sport that following quarter. Also, follow teacher recommendations for course and level instruction. So for your core classes, your math, science, English, and social studies, your current teachers at the middle school will recommend you for courses. We always tell people to follow those recommendations because your teachers know you best. They've had you all year. They know your what you're strong in, maybe what you're ready for. So we always recommend them to follow those courses and levels of instruction. Of course, if you want to have a conversation with the teacher, your counselor at the middle school, or one of us next year before the year starts, we could always talk about that and we could go through the pros and cons of those. But we always recommend to follow the teacher recommendations. Course recommendations continued. So, like I said, in the coming days, you are going to get a green scheduling sheet. It looks like this. It has the scheduling sheet on the front, and it actually has all the courses you could take on the back. I will show you a better version of it on the video here shortly, but here's the dates you need to be aware of. Students will receive their scheduling forms on Tuesday, February 16th. Blank forms will be available in the counseling office just in case you lose them. Course registration forms will be due Monday, February 22nd. That's the first due date. I want to make sure you understand that scheduling classes are a first come, first serve basis. So if you turn in your scheduling sheet February 22nd, you have a better opportunity to get in the classes you want. If you don't turn it in by Monday, February 22nd, we will have a second day where we're going to collect those. That'll be by February 24th. You will get communication about that from the middle school principals. But make sure you try to turn those in on Monday, February 22nd, so you have the best opportunity to get in the classes you would like. Students will sign up for electives only. Core classes will be assigned based on teacher recommendations. We already touched base on this, so you only have to look at the electives. Your core subjects, like I said, the English, math, science, social studies, your current teacher in those subjects will recommend you. If we need to change any of those, or if you have any questions, make sure you talk to your teacher about those. And questions can be directed to your current school counselor about any of the scheduling questions you may have, or you can send an email to myself, Mrs. Hetrick, Mr. Hurlbut, or Mrs. Tupaz, our school counselors here, about specific classes if you need more information. These are the counselor contacts. If you look, these are counselors at the high school. Mr. Hurlbut is the high school counselor, grades 9 through 12 for letters A through G. That's his email right there if you have any questions. Mrs. Hetrick is the high school counselor, grades 9 through 12, letters H through O. Her contact and email is right here. Myself, Kyle Kovach. I'm the high school counselor 9 through 12 for letters P through Z, and this is my email right here. Feel free to email me with any questions you have. And Mrs. Tupaz, she is currently our online counselor because of COVID protocols, but she is happy to help any parent or student with any questions as well. And her email is right here. And then presentation is finished, and usually I would have questions, but like I said, if you have any questions, refer back to the emails and feel free to email us, but also feel free to ask your current school counselors at the school. Just to wrap up, the scheduling sheet you're going to get is going to look like this. It's going to be green. This just white because it's on a document. So you're going to get this at the middle school in the coming days. What you'll do is you're going to fill out last name, first name. So these are our core subjects we talked about: math, English, science, social studies. These are the courses we offer. Like I said, your current teacher in these subjects, we're going to recommend you for courses. So you could circle these if you'd want, but it's going to be put in your schedule based on recommendations. If you have any questions at all about recommendations, make sure you talk to your teachers at the middle school about what you're being recommended for, and they'll be happy to help you. This is the Circuit of Success section. So if you look, the Principles of Leadership right here, this is that circuit class that I said every 8th grade Chardon student will take. And then you're going to have to circle 3 from below. So pick the top 3 out of these choices you would like, circle those so we know, so we could put them in your schedule. Like I said, pick ones you're interested in, but also think about picking ones that you need to build skills in. And down here, this is the most important part. These are electives. Students should take a minimum of 2 credits of additional courses. So remember, we need to fill 2 periods of your schedule with electives. So if you're going to pick an elective and you see a 0.5 next to it, that means it's a half-year course. So you would need to pick 2 half-year courses to fill up a full period. So if you're going to pick semester courses or half-year courses, make sure you pick 2 to fill up a period. If you're going to take 2 more half-year courses, you would have to pick 2 more as well to fill up that last 6th period. You could take full credit courses. So, say if you take Spanish and band, those are both full year courses. You would only need to choose two as your top two choices. So, make sure that you have a total of 2 credits filled, either a combination of half year courses with full year courses, or all half year courses, or all 2 full year courses. Just make sure you have 2 credits filled up. This right here should add up to 2 full. Also, make sure you please write at least 2 alternative elective courses. The reason being, like I said, it's on a first come, first serve basis, meaning that some of these classes could fill up. That's why we really want you to turn in your scheduling sheets by February 22nd. So you have the best opportunity to get into those courses. But just in case it does happen at times that courses do fill up, make sure you take the next 2 choices you would like, just in case you can't get into the courses you chose first. Because what will happen is we'll be doing scheduling, we'll reach out to you, but if we do not have alternative courses, we need to make sure as counselors we could fill up your schedule. So we would actually choose the best courses that will actually fit in your schedule, not necessarily what you want. So if you want to make sure you get into courses that you are absolutely interested in or want to take, make sure you put your first choices up here that counts up to 2 full credits, and then also have 2 alternative courses. But remember, we recommend every student to have a study hall. If you do not want a study hall and you want to have a full schedule, it's up to you and your parents. Make sure this would actually add up to 3 credits. Okay. And then on the back of the sheet, you're going to see a sheet that looks like this. This is just those classes we already covered. These are all of the courses that are eligible for you to take when you're looking at electives. And if you look at this, will be shaded in on your page. The shaded in sections are those courses that count for high school credit. So if you want to take an elective to start your high school career, make sure you pick those shaded sections. If you're not sure and you're kind of wary about taking high school courses this early, that's fine as well. You will actually pick the non-shaded ones. So that's the end of the presentation. Like I said, my name is Kyle Kovach, I was a former 8th grade counselor. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I've dealt with a lot of these questions in the past, or you could reach out to your current counselors at the middle school or your future high school counselors at the high school. Thank you and have a nice day.
So, as you have seen through all the things that Mr. Kovac has just shared with you, the high school is really organized. Not saying the middle school isn't, but we're really organized because everything you do up here, we eventually can transcript and help you earn your 4 E's. What are the 4 E's? Whether you want to be enrolled in a college, we're going to help you get there. Or you want to enlist in the armed service, we're going to help find you your place. Or you want to go and get involved at Auburn Career Center and become immediately employed, we're going to guide you to find your place. And as you learn through the circuit of success, all the while, you might want to be a young entrepreneur. See, even myself, I'm an entrepreneur. You might know, how does a principal become an entrepreneur? Well, if you're watching this and you're wearing something that says Chardon High School, or you're wearing a state hoodie, or you're wearing a branded logo, well, there's a strong chance that I made that. I love to create. I love to innovate. And we all can be a part of a great solution. And I'm so pleased that you're going to be a part of our community. Take care.